On today's show, in search of the largest deer in North America. Will a seductive grunt and groan attract a bull moose? We'll find out. One of the most spectacular color shows in Minnesota happens at a place called Cooke State Park, and our photojournalist Nick Clausen was there.
Yeah, there's a lot of pike.
And later, our Minnesota Bound Classic takes us north to Canada in search of monster pike. How's the fishing? Let's just say I call it the Day of the Pike. Those stories and more, next.
Minnesota Bound. Brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers.
Hi everybody, Raven and I welcome you to the show. As you might know, I love to talk to the animals. For example, love to talk to wild turkeys. But I also have tried grunting or talking to moose. Now that is a bigger story. In Ontario's North Country, autumn rushes by as if chased by Old Man Winter. The days are growing shorter now, the air chilling down. But turning leaves is not the only North Country sign of change. This too is Moose Country, home to the largest member of the deer family. Bulls may weigh 1,000 pounds or more. And come autumn, in the world of moose, a living drama unfolds.
I know an angel fell to earth.
It's mating time.
The way that angels sometimes do.
Time for cows and bulls to get together.
That's why you hear me say, oh, what a lucky day.
So too, it's also time for a moose hunter to get into the mating game. Think that tag's big enough to put on a moose, huh?
The one we killed?
We're gonna need one twice that size.
You got her.
Meet Eddie Showalter, owner, chief pilot, and bottle washer for an Ontario institution, Showalter's Fly-In Service for anglers and hunters since 1987.
Yeah, I went to college for 4 years, got a business degree, but really that wasn't my interest being inside at all. I've been an outside kid since I was 5 years old, so that's all I've ever done. No people, no phones, no computers, and being with the animals. That's what I enjoy.
Destination, the magic of Moose Country. Strangely, it's a fast flight into a timeless land in a place called Action Lake. It's one of Eddie's hunting outposts during moose season. But the question on my mind was simple. Out there, somewhere in the boondocks, was there a bull moose waiting? Guide Kyle Miller explains.
You're going to be looking more in the marshy bays or some gentle sloping rocks as well. Something they can walk down easily. A full-grown bull moose, the top of its head will stand 6 feet high. It's definitely a little overwhelming when you first have a close encounter with them.
So the hunt was on for the perfect moose walk. Plus, calling sensuous grunts. A bull moose loves to hear. You know, it helps to have a vivid imagination. Any moment, you figure, the world's largest deer will appear. Okay, instead, how about North America's largest rodent?
That's what you call a little beaver alarm call there, that splash with their tail.
As the moose hunt continues, you soon realize the size of the country means finding a moose is akin to finding a needle in the bush. Maybe we need to add a tantalizing odor of, say, a friendly cow moose. And maybe my moose talk is, well, more suggestive. clearly after that bellowing, it was time to move on.
Well, if you look here, Ron, we've had a moose bed down here just not far off the lake shore. They come back here where it's a little drier and they'll lay down in here.
Hoof print right there. He walked away that way. That way. Oh, what a bedroom. As we stalked the wily moose, I should add, we were not alone. Biting black flies had found us. Maybe it's time to head back to camp. Tonight, only the man in the moon can find a moose. Tomorrow, we'll try again. When we return, we continue our moose hunt, that is, grunting like a lonely cow moose in need of affection. Hey, somebody's got to do it.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Minnesota's select GMC dealers. Connecticut. And by Rapala.
Okay, we've grunted and groaned with no response yet, but you know, when you're moose hunting, you can't give up. Maybe something will come to the call. Where there's moose in Ontario, there's water, and well, you know the rest.
A nice little eater, huh?
There's walleyes in moose country too.
We got enough for supper, Ron. I think we'll let this little guy live another day.
Yeah. Kind of funny sitting here with a fishing rod, and about that time I'll see a moose. This lake, Action Lake, I mean, who ever heard of it? Loaded with walleyes. It just would boggle your mind if you knew how many walleyes were in all these lakes. It is just mind-boggling. A lot of fun, but mind-boggling.
I really do enjoy it, Ron.
I do too.
The next day it was back to moose hunting with a fella named Willie Witherspoon. Willie talks to moose his own special way, sometimes adding a sound that bulls seek, a cow in the water urinating. Whatever works. And finally, after many moosey grunts and the groans of a moaning cow, a bull moose appears like a giant black ghost. It's a young bull, curious and interested in female company. Now it's a mind game. Can we convince the bull to swim our way? He's thinking about it. For a moose hunter, this is also decision time. Do I shoot or do I pass? I took aim with my rifle and decided to pass. This young bull, probably not quite 2 years old, would live to be bigger still. So our story ends. No moose, not this time, just a moose memory, and a good one at that, of an autumn moment with nature in this wild land we call moose country. Up next, it's a color show like few others, and one of the best in Minnesota. Those flaming trees in Cooke State Park.
Closed captioning is brought to you by The Yard, premier manufacturers of maintenance-free outdoor patio furniture and accessories from recycled plastic.
Hey, it won't be long before the annual Fall Color Show shows up in Minnesota, so if you're wondering where you might go to catch it this year, we have a suggestion. It's called Cooke State Park.
time of year, of course, we're starting to turn into the colder season, but it's a beautiful, colorful time to come to the park and see all the trees turning. All those pigments, especially like in the maple leaves, those reds and those oranges that we're seeing right now, those are hidden underneath the green pigments. There's just so many green pigments that we don't see them. Now, when the fall comes along, we don't have as much sunlight, and so the green starts to break down and it reveals those beautiful yellows and oranges and reds. We're named J. Cooke State Park after J. Cooke. He was from Philadelphia, and he had a lot of development interests out here, including the Northern Pacific Railroad, which started right outside of the park in Carlton. When he came out to visit that land, he noticed the St. Louis River, how powerful it was, and he thought, oh, I can make money off of this too. So he purchased land all up and down the shores of the St. Louis, and eventually they built the Thompson hydroelectric power plant. After that was finished, all the excess land they then donated to the state of Minnesota to make a state park. Today we cover 8,800 acres, which is just under 14 square miles. Unfortunately, a lot of people think the park is just the swinging bridge, and that's beautiful to look at and everything, but if you have a chance, get back there and see some of the other pretty scenery of the park. We just received 4 new camper cabins this summer, so we now have a total of 5. All of them have electric and heat, so they're going to be open year-round. They're very popular, though. They gave us more because we had the most popular one in the state. It's a beautiful, colorful time to come to the park and see all the trees turning. And you know, this morning as I came in, the mist was starting to rise off of the river, so it's kind of a magical time, I think. It makes you feel warm, doesn't it, to see all those reds and those oranges, and it's kind of cool, so you're snuggling up in your fleeces and everything. I think it's maybe a state of mind that you want to go out and enjoy the last bit of the warm weather before you're hunkered down inside your house all winter long.
Our Minnesota Bound Classic this week takes a look back at a fishing trip to Canada. What were we fishing for? Monster pike. And yes, we found them.
Minnesota Bound, brought to you by Hennepin County Medical Center, Minnesota Agricultural Water Resources Coalition, Minnesota soybean farmers and their checkoff,
You know, if you fished often enough, or if you're sometimes lucky, you could end up with a fishing experience that is simply unforgettable. I've had a few of those, and one of them I call the Day of the Pike.
It's a pig.
Oh, she's coming out. Look at the size of her back. Oosh, like landing a big alligator. You're not sure, Lunch?
Oh my Lord, what a day today is.
The Day of the Pike.
The Day of the Pike?
There she is.
Little did we know the prophecy about to unfold on one of North America's fishing frontiers.
Got it?
Yeah.
Raise her up, raise her up, raise her up.
Pinch your tail a little bit.
42.
42.
Fishing frontiers are expected to make memories, but this lake, called Wollaston, seems to have a knack for making stuff happen.
I told you not to touch her there.
That does it.
Lord knows there's plenty of Wollaston to roam. This is the 12th largest lake in all of Canada, 110 miles long, 45 miles wide, and dotted with umpteen islands in the far north end of Saskatchewan, far beyond the reach of roads.
The fishery is unbelievable. The lodge is first class, and it's like coming to a 5-star resort, out in the bush. It's amazing.
One day on a chilly September morning, we left the lodge and took a short flight by float plane to the north end of Wollaston, north enough to be in caribou country. My guide, Kenny Lonan, was anxious to go. After 20 years of guiding on Wollaston, he knew the chill winds of September could unleash a big pike bite.
There we go. Trying to get rid of that fly. Come on.
Yeah, she looks like she's ready. In fact, she is too.
Let me pat him on the head.
Thank you. Well, that fly is looking pretty rough.
It is, but it's working.
Nice fish.
I think this is another 40 something.
All right. What a beauty.
Kenny and I were unaware we had entered a fishing zone seldom reached, the day of the pike.
39, we'll call it. 37 inches. 36. 19 and a half inch girth. 40 inches. 41.
41.
You. Pat you on the head.
And the day had just begun.
There we go. Creepers.
Oh, it's a nice one, Ron. She's a Moby.
He's got a lot of muscle.
How's your arms doing holding out?
Oh, you know what? This is pain that you love. Oh, there she is.
Yeah,
There she is.
She's looking
She's
good
a
and tired.
big mama. All right.
Yeah! What a horse!
44. 44.
What a monster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sweating underneath all this gear.
Oh, boy. I tell you, it's a big fish. Oh, yeah. Big fat body. Oh, careful.
Look at the size of this! Oh, on a fly rod!
45, oh yeah! Yeah! Oh, I got my picture taken out. I'm exhausted. My knees are still quivering. Good show. She liked to play the game. Let me see that, sweetie.
All good days come to an end, of course.
Yeah! Thank you. Good girl.
And this one ended with 10 trophies, all longer than a yardstick. My, what a day.
Day of the pike.
Day of the pike.
Day of the pike. Like I said, big pike, unforgettable. Well, that about does it for us. Remember, introduce a kid to the great outdoors. I'm Ron Schara, and of course, always the star of the show is Raven.
Transportation provided by Premier Transportation. Call 1-800-899-7433. For more information on these stories and more, catch us on the web at mnbound.com.